Hola, thank you guys for hopping in and checking us out once again. Iron Sharpens Iron Fitness. I'm Coach Chris, and this is
Miguel.
and we're here with another one of our clients who has such an awesome story and was so excited to share it that she was asking us if we could get on a video and talk about it because she feels like this is very important. A lot of people need to hear about it, and she wants to share it. So, without further ado, Andrea is going to talk about her experience with exercise and getting COVID. Go, go for it, Andrea.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I started the program with Chris and Miguel's help back in a few months back, and at the time I did it, I was overweight. I was not doing well. I was under stress. Because of COVID and everything, the gyms were closed. I was, not working out at all. So it was just I was drinking a lot. I was eating a lot of bad stuff, and so I was just really in a bad place. And so you guys helped me with the nutrition, with the exercise. So I started getting on a regular exercise routine. Fixed my, the food that I was eating. I started to eat a lot better, healthier, and I could see like a big change. And just last month, I was probably I mean I still am, but like probably I would say in the best shape that I've ever been. And I happened to get COVID at the same time. And I think because of everything that you guys are helping me do, because of the exercise and the nutrition, I feel like my immune system is so much better that the symptoms were very minor, and I was still able to work out even though I still had COVID. And I feel like if this had happened to me back when I was overweight and my nutrition wasn't ideal and I was under stress and everything, I feel like my immune system wouldn't have handled it the same. Obviously, I don't know what would have happened back then, but I feel like, with your help, I feel like everything was much better. The symptoms were not as bad. The recovery time was super fast. I was around the same time I got COVID, which the COVID symptoms started, which I didn't know I had COVID at the time. I started doing a challenge, and I was doing burpees. And so I was doing, like 70 burpees a day while I had COVID, and I didn't even know in the beginning. And I don't think that before I met, before you guys helped me out, with this program, I don't think that I would have been able to do 70 burpees a day, let alone with COVID. You know what I mean? I would say I don't think I would have been able to do 70 burpees a day healthy. You know, so this is like really big for me, and I think I really really appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and I think more people need to take charge of their health, because even when I was going to the gym or doing stuff on my own, I still didn't really know what I was doing, and I wasn't necessarily targeting the right areas. If I would lose weight, it wasn't exactly where I wanted to. Um, and you guys have also helped me with some of the weaknesses I have. And so, it's made a huge difference for me, and I think a lot more people should do the same.
No, that's great. I know you had a question or something. Go ahead. I saw it.
When you actually found out that you had COVID, how did you feel? What was the worry that you had that may have come to mind?
Well, when I found out, I first of all, I was in disbelief, because the symptoms were kind of like just a bad cold, and I had a lot of headaches, which were unusual, but it was like a bad cold. So my first thing was, I was worried that I didn't want to get anybody else sick. So I had to like go and hide out and get away from my family. And luckily, everybody that lived with me tested negative. So that was a good thing. But I didn't want them to, get it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And even I think the day you found out, that was funny too, because you had told me, I think you did what, like 2 workouts and your burpees or
Yeah.
something just like that.
Yeah, so the day before the symptoms started, I ran 2 miles, and then the day the symptoms started, I did like a really hard workout, and I did like 70 burpees, and then the day before the day before I found out, which I still had symptoms, I did more burpees, and I was like, I was feeling a lot better. So it was like the worst symptoms were like 24 hours, and all of that happened before I found out. When I found out, I was like, I was in shock. I was like, wow, this doesn't even feel that bad.
That's crazy. And you mentioned you don't think you would have done so well previously. So where was your health at previously? Um, like when you started with us.
I think, well, I mean, like I said, I was overweight, and I think I was under a lot of stress, and I feel like exercise has helped me a lot with the stress, managing stress. And I feel like all of that kind of dings your immune system. You have a bad diet, you have a lot of stress, you're not doing any exercising, a combination of all those things. Then you're also, the nutrition was not ideal. So all of those things kind of hit your immune system. And then on top of that, if you get a disease like COVID, which also, then it's not going to be a good situation. I mean, obviously I can't predict how it would have gone back then, but if I had to guess, I would say it probably would have been a lot worse, because my immune system wouldn't be in a good place, and all of those things probably would have affected everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was going on in your head while you had COVID and you're still working out? What kept you motivated to still pursue those things? Because I worked out with you online when you were still, I think, quarantined.
Yeah, I was, I want to try to get healthy. Usually I want to try to get healthy as soon as possible. And most people are like, oh, you shouldn't be working out, you should be resting. And I mean, I actually looked up online, and I saw something from a doctor saying that actually you should try to do some exercise, because it's going to help your lungs, and kind of, I don't know if it's because you're you're getting more oxygen, or I don't know if it's because you're getting more blood circulation going. But they said you should try to do some kind of exercise to try to help out. Of course, obviously, don't push yourself, beyond what you can do, obviously be careful, right? But I was like, I'm going to try to do what I can do, and if I feel like I'm out of breath, obviously I would stop and, catch my breath, which I do that all the time anyway. But um, so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just continue doing it. I'm not gonna stop, because I feel like it's worse if you're sitting all day, or I was quarantined in a room, really wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I feel like it's gonna be worse if you're just sitting there. It's probably not gonna be good for your circulation and other things, So I feel like some movement is definitely helpful.
Absolutely. And then, as you guys mentioned, working out together. So you were in a quarantine in a room. What was the experience like working out, still, being in that room, being quarantined virtually?
Oh no, it was good. It was okay. It was not a big issue, because like most of the time when I'm home, I mean, obviously I miss going out, but because of COVID, it wasn't very different from the regular, like I would stay home. When sometimes I work, I'm staying in the same bedroom basically all day working, and then I would just switch laptops and start doing schoolwork. So it wasn't really too different. I mean, I didn't get to see my family and my dogs. I miss them, but other than that, it wasn't too crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, you had everything you needed as far as workout goes, because, everything was structured around what you had available. So we made that work.
Yeah, that was definitely helpful. I was not happy about the push-ups, but it was I had to do push-ups and burpees. That was tough, but it was good. It was good because it's good because you guys always customize everything to what I can do. So you only push me until the point where I can go. you guys never do, you're not like too abusive, but you do want me to, you do want it to be challenging, right? So, which I appreciate that. You a lot of times people go to the gym, they don't know what they're doing, they do the same exercise over and over, then at some point your body is just going to get used to it, you're going to see no results, right? But you guys keep challenging it and keep changing the exercises and keep adding to the intensity, so that your body is always, it's not going to get used to it, you're always going to see just a progression in the results.
Yeah, what is the programming like for you? If you want to give a little bit of detail on that.
Well, so I, like I said, I've tried to work out on my own, but you don't know what you're doing, and I've haven't. When I did stuff on my own, I really didn't see the same results that with your help. Obviously, it was like a huge difference. And I also years ago went to see a nutritionist, and I did a program that helped me. And I did lose some weight, but all the weight I lost with the nutritionist was in areas that are not a problem for me, like my arms, my face, my stomach. That's usually not a problem. My problem areas are my hips and my legs. And I found that it was hard for me to either do workouts that would really target that area properly, because I didn't know what I was doing. And the nutrition help that I got back in the day really didn't target that, right? And basically what the nutritionist ended saying to me, she was great, by the way, but she ended up saying, like, that's just your genetics, that's how you're built, that's how it is, basically, like, that's what you get. So, but with you guys, with your program, you found a way to combine the nutrition and the exercise and target, the main areas, right? So not only you're helping me make my weaknesses stronger, right? You're also helping me target like the legs and the hips. Like so far I've lost 20 pounds, which somebody would say, well, like 20 pounds might not be a lot for some people, right? But it's huge, because most of it has come off from like my legs and like my butt, which are my huge problem areas, which I have the hardest time losing weight from, right? And not only that, is also not, I'm losing weight, but it's also more toned. So it's not like I'm losing muscle, it's like my muscles are getting stronger, but I'm losing fat. So that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you mentioned, like, it's always variable, it's always changing. I don't think you've done anything repetitively.
Yeah, there's always, and then sometimes you'll throw like some crazy exercises in there and stuff, and always trying to make it interesting. And sometimes I appreciate that I'm not working out with you, because I can swear to the app.
Yes.
I can cuss Susan out sometimes.
And the thing is, I know we talked about your family history before, and now, you had COVID, but you worked out. I think you're the only one that's working out at home. How has this impacted your family, and what have they seen? Is there anything that they've said with you working out, getting COVID, and then recovering?
I think most of the people I tell, they're kind of surprised. And because there's even in my family in Colombia, a lot of people have died because of COVID. And so a lot of people, when I tell them that I was pretty lucky, things weren't bad at all, they're like kind of surprised. And I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm sure my health had something to do with it, right? I don't know if maybe I got lucky with the variant that I got, it wasn't as bad, but like I'm sure that being in a good place health wise made a difference, right? And yeah, well, I mean, my family were like, oh, you shouldn't work out, you should be careful, blah blah blah. I would send texts to my brothers, to my brother, taunting him, because I would say, look, I'm in my deathbed and I did 70 burpees today, how many did you do? I think I was like, you should do this too. And I think he did one day, he did a few of them. He must have done like 20 or something, or 50. And then he's like, nah, I'm good.
And the month of April, you did 2,000 burpees. So that was a challenge. What was that like? Because you were posting it up in our group. Um, what was that like, and the support you got from the community?
Oh yeah, that's another thing I didn't even mention. I there's there I feel like the group makes me want to do better. Um, I I'm not I have I guess I should rephrase that. I don't like running a lot. I used to try to jog when I was, when I would go to the gym. I used to try to jog on the treadmill, and I hated every second of it. But because of the group, they kind of encourage each other to do better, to do cardio, to do different things. I kind of decided, I said, you know what, I'll give it a try, and I try to do some more jogging outside. Um, and it's actually not bad, and I feel like the encouragement of the group helps me try to do better, try to push myself more. I feel like if I was just by myself, I wouldn't do any of those things. And so it's really helpful. And then when we do the check-ins and we all talk to each other and we talk about how the week went, there's a lot of good information being shared there from everybody, and tips and everything. And every time I go, I'm always like, wow, that was really cool, because I always end up learning something. Like for example, when I used to go jogging, um, I afterwards I would be coughing for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I'd be coughing like I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, and I'm not a smoker, by the way. So I was like, why am I always coughing so much? And actually, I happened to go to one of the check-ins, and there was somebody there that were like, oh, you know what, you should try this and this and that. And it made a difference. And I'm like, wow, how did I not think of this before? But there's people that have their own experiences from their own exercises that they've done, and then they come and they share that information, and they kind of make you think about things. And so the group is really, really helpful.
Yeah. And it's funny because even as you were beginning to say that, I think something that Steve mentioned in the group to you is something that resonated there. Steve had told you to not say you're not a runner because you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about it before. That's why I was gonna say that, and then I'm like, wait a minute. So yeah, in I think before this experience, I don't think you would ever hear me say, oh, I'm gonna go out running. Like, you'd have been like, is the world coming to an end or something? Like, so for me to say that I'm gonna go out for a run, like, that's weird, but it's good. You try to, like, I feel like I don't want to let, not only I don't want to let you guys down, I don't want to let the group down. You know what I mean? I want to feel like, you know what, I'm not a quitter. I gotta try, right? I gotta do something, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. Um, Man, so much. I want to ask, for people who don't know us, Andrea, why'd you reach out to us specifically?
Oh, well, you helped me out back in the day when I used to go to the gym. You would run the boot camps over there, and I also had some training sessions with you. And I think that before this experience, I think that up to that point, that was like the best shape that I remember being in. So I thought, you know what, if there's anybody that can help me when I'm fat, stressed, and overweight, and in a bad place, I think it'd be Chris. So that's why I reached out to you guys. And I didn't even, at the time, I didn't even realize that I was going to get the bonus with the nutrition, which is, even better, because you can only do so much with exercise, but then when you combine the two things, then your results are going to be twice better, if you can say that. Can you say that? I don't know if you can say that. 2 times better.
Or
2 times better. Is that?
There you go.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
When you were actually, I think you were still quarantined. I want to touch back on the groups. I think you did a check-in, and I think what helps and what matters most is that during that time you really technically weren't isolated. People, you had to separate yourself physically, but isolation wasn't an issue for you because you were like messaging us like, hey, I did these burpees.
Mhm,
it,
mhm.
it was just like any other day.
Wow.
Actually, you had encouraged even Candace to keep going, even with her running. You know, people prayed for you while you were sick with COVID. The community is a big aspect, and I really want to let people know that one of the reasons why Andrea is so successful with her fitness journey is because of that community that was built.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and they would joke around about her brownies and the runs. So those things, little things, you know, they created that bond, even though they're miles away from each other.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden getting COVID and she's stuck in her room, she still had the motivation to keep going. And
Oh, that's true. Yeah, definitely seeing the messages from the group and what think everyone's doing, it definitely helped. It definitely helped, because then it just, you're like, I'm not just gonna sit here and do nothing. Then I would see people post what they did for cardio that week, and I'd be like, I gotta do something, at least some burpees or something, you know? I gotta keep going. Well, and the other thing I was afraid, it was if I didn't do burpees for a couple days, then they were gonna, you know, they were gonna add up. And I have to do more burpees a couple other days. It was like the last day was brutal, because I still had one more day, but I was like, I'm just gonna finish the day before, and I had to do 240, and like I think the nods in my back are starting to go away now.
Week later.
It was rough. 240 in one day. It was rough.
Yeah, and it didn't help that some of the workouts I wrote in burpees because I thought she was counting them as part of her 2000.
Yeah.
Oh, but that would be cheating. That would be cheating. I'm like, I can't count them. That would be cheating, you know? You gotta do them fair and square.
That's very true. So I thought I was helping, but I wasn't.
Well, honestly, Andrea, you were a big inspiration to me and many other people. You know, not a lot of people can hear a story of someone who has COVID, because a lot of times COVID brings fear into people's lives. But your perspective about it was not of fear. It was actually a challenge. And that challenge brought growth. What could you say about the Andrea now after getting that experience of COVID and, you know, still pushing through all those burpees? People may not think it's a big deal, but seriously, 2,000 burpees in 1 month, plus getting COVID and working and doing everything else, living life normally in a little room, that can play with people's minds.
And she was in class.
And you were in class, you were studying.
Yeah.
So what's Andrea like now from that experience?
Oh, I mean, I don't think I had anything too exceptional. I think I was lucky, you know, because you know, I just felt like I have to try to, you know, keep doing my exercises, keep doing everything, because I'm lucky I'm still okay. You know, some people, they had to go to the hospital and they couldn't breathe. They needed help from, you know, doctors and machines and everything just to stay alive. So I felt like I was so lucky that I needed to just like, you know what, I gotta do my best. You know, I gotta try to do my best, and, you know, not get other people sick was my, you know, my main concern. So I'm like, I'm gonna stay away, you know, quarantine for the time being, and you know, just keep going, you know. So I just happen to be one of the lucky ones that I could still do, you know, I could still work, I could still do schoolwork, I could still exercise, you know. And right now I'm trying to see if I can make an appointment to donate plasma, to see if what I have can help others, you know. But I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not too late, because I'm already over it, but I think I still have antibodies. So I'm hoping that I'm still in the time period where I can donate plasma. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'll get vaccinated right after that's done.
Gotcha.
Such humility,
Yes.
very humble.
So I do have like 2 more questions before I do like a send off.
Okay.
Your mindset is something that you mentioned in the beginning. You said you were, you know, stressed. I'm not sure if you said you were depressed or you were just really down, and you know, you weren't in the best of shape. How has it changed from then to now?
Oh, well, you know, definitely the exercise helped a lot. I feel like, you know, when I exercise, then it makes me feel a lot better. Like sometimes, so, you know, before, if I had like a bad day at work, you know, I'm not driving anywhere and the work is over, then I'd be like, I'm just gonna drink. You know, the work day is over. I'm not driving anywhere. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna drink. But now I'll be like, okay, what I'm gonna try to do first is I'm gonna try to see if I can get some of my workouts in, and then see how I feel after. And that typically helps me, you know, with stress or depression or anything. I feel so much better, you know, afterwards. Obviously, you know, I don't like working out. I never have, but
Mhm.
I like how I feel afterwards. You know, you always feel better. And I have never said, I have never had a day where I said, oh, you know what, I regret working out. It's always been the opposite. It's always, I regret not doing it. So it's, you know, it's helped me tremendously. It's helped me definitely with depression, with stress, with everything.
A lot of chunks of wisdom in
I
that.
love that point.
Just see, isn't that a good question?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have two questions left.
Wait, I thought that was the first one. So
That
this
was
is
the
second
first one. Sorry, I said two questions a question ago. The nutrition side. What's it been like going back and forth with Mikal, talking about nutrition, having the meal plans? What's that experience been?
It's really good because then you have guidance, and then I like that it has built-in snacks. So you're not like, you know, starving, you know, waiting between meals. You always have like a snack to, you know, to keep you going. And it's completely doable. It's not terrible, you know. I liked it, you know.
How about
And
the availability of this one to help you out?
oh no, she's great. I mean, Mikal, she would like be like, hey, do you have any questions? And she's always, you know, messaging me and you know, making sure that I have, you know, the information that I need if I have questions or anything. I know in the beginning I was like not using the app right, and she took the time to like talk to me and help me and walk me through it, and you know, everything was great. And then the other thing was when I mentioned my family history and everything, and some of the issues that they found on my blood work years ago. She was actually kind enough to just, you know, make a video for me explaining everything so I could even share it with my family, since this is something that they probably are going through because they say it's hereditary. So that was really good. You know, I was able to just send it like, here, please watch this video. This is really important, because other than that, I feel like they haven't really taken it seriously. So that was really helpful as well.
Well, thank you, Andrea. Actually, I really appreciate you being pliable. A great coachee, is that the right term? Coachee is a pliable coachee. Is that right?
You're right.
Okay, because you're the one doing the life and leadership coaching. But you're pliable, you're willing to learn, and that's where you have that open space to grow. I think people like you are actually the prime examples to see success.
Mhm. Absolutely. It's just, you know, being willing and receptive to be like, hey, I don't have the answers. Let me listen to somebody who may have the answers. And this is exactly the person who I believe, you know, I reached out to them for this reason. So I'm going to do what they said. And that's you know, you're a great example of that. Okay. You ready for my last one?
Okay.
Sorry. uh, what would you say to someone who is on the fence, who is like, you know, thinking about reaching out to us? Maybe Andrea before she made the decision. What would you say to that person?
I mean, it's your quality of life, right? This is something that's going to help your quality of life all around. Um, and I don't think people appreciate that sometimes, and they don't think about it. So it's like that you can't put a price on that, right? There's people that spend thousands of dollars on a phone or something stupid. It's like that's just that's not even important. This is the quality of life. This is gonna affect how you're gonna feel, how you know how much energy you're gonna have. It's gonna improve your mental health. You know, there's really, I mean, this is probably the most important thing somebody can do towards getting better. and it's not just something, oh, I'll do it, like some people that do crash diets or something like that. That is something that's not healthy or temporary. This is something that can help you be in the right path for to have a good lifestyle, right? And so not only is going to improve your health, both your physical and mental health, right? It's gonna help you with your weight if that's an issue, help you with some other health issues you may have, help you with any weaknesses you have, right? Because those are things that we normally can't address, or we might not even notice, right? When you guys do the assessment, you can tell, like, oh, well, you're doing okay here, but you're lacking here. Maybe we can help you, right? Or you can take into consideration any health problems somebody has and kind of mold the workouts to fit their needs, right? Or if you have like knee problems or something, you're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do to straighten the muscles around your knee so you don't have any more issues. So it's like a whole package. It's not just like, oh, here, do this exercise, done. No, it's like, we're gonna help you with your weaknesses, we're gonna help you get stronger, we're gonna help you get healthier, we're gonna help you get your mind right. It's just a whole package, right? So I mean, it's definitely worth it. I mean, if anybody's on the fence, they really shouldn't be. They should just go for it.
I love it.
Jump over.
Jump over.
Yeah, just jump over. I mean, instead of
A burpee over.
yeah, instead of like wasting money on like expensive dumb stuff, or people go out to eat all the time. Like I've seen people that, well, before COVID, when they were at work, they would go to lunch to a restaurant every day. And I'm like, how about you save some of that money and you do something that's actually going to change your life, instead of wasting money going out to restaurants all the time. Put some money aside. Instead of buying some expensive phone, put some money aside and do something that's really going to help you. And I feel like after COVID, I mean, there must be a ton of people like me, in the same situation. They were at home, they were stressed. Some people, they even have they have to homeschool their kids on top of their work, and they weren't prepared for that. I mean, I imagine that the amount of people that need help, it must be huge,
Absolutely. We got our work cut out.
I know.
Well, awesome, Andrea. Thank you so much for sharing your story of the past 6 months with us. It's been awesome. I've loved watching you grow. And you have been a prime example of somebody who has made moves and not made excuses. So I thank you so much for being such an awesome coachee.
Thank you. I was gonna ask you if I can show you something. I have a pair of shorts that I'm wearing. I don't know if we're gonna get a good angle here, but I have a pair of shorts that I'm wearing that used to be tight 20 pounds ago, and now they're not. And I don't know if I can show you.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can put the camera, and hopefully you're not gonna see too much mess in my house, because the house is kind of messy. I apologize in advance. So these shorts, I had them, they were really tight, right? And then if you look at them,
Wow.
I don't think I can wear them anymore. Like I have to, they're really, really loose. And these things were tight when we were, these were tight 6 months ago. So just so you guys know, like and I have a pair of jeans that's even worse, right? And I had pants that I bought pre-COVID, and I couldn't even fit into them because I had gained so much weight, and now they're great. So I'm really, really excited about that. Yeah.
I'm blown away by that. Thank you for that. I didn't even see that coming.
Me neither.
Wow.
Now that is a send off.
Yeah, for real.
So,
Awesome.
I mean, if all the other stuff I said was not good enough motivation, just look at my shorts.
Awesome.
Just look at her shorts.
Yes. You have any party words?
Well, no, seriously, I'm really proud of you, Andrea, and being a prime example of someone who makes moves all the time without making any excuses still, like even after COVID, you are amazing. You are an inspiration to all, including us, especially I'm sure your family. Thank you for this time, Andrea. We
Thank
really
you. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your help. Couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.